Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on itvtt.com. I am Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, detention orders, alleged plot to assassinate government officials as business executives challenge claims in court. Police commissioner says no officer is above the law following dismissal of 17 TTPS officers. Minister Khadija Amin highlights ongoing community outreach and constituency development in St. Augustine. In our top story, preventative detention orders issued against business executive Dominic Hadid, Genevieve Hadid and Star Sabga alleged that they were involved in an ongoing conspiracy to assassinate members of the government. The allegations are detailed in legal notices published in an extraordinary gazette, which state that intelligence gathered by the authorities formed the basis for the detention orders under the Emergency Powers Regulations. According to the notices, Dominic Hadid is alleged to have made statements promoting violence against government officials, and because of his financial resources and influence was considered capable of facilitating serious organized criminal activity. The notices further allege that Genevieve Hadid was involved in the same purported conspiracy, while Star Sabga is accused of encouraging violent action and playing a key role in the alleged plot. Authorities maintain that the detention orders were issued to safeguard public safety and prevent the alleged plans from being carried out. However, all three have denied the allegations, and their attorneys are contesting the legality of the detention orders before the courts. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says no one within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is above accountability following the dismissal of 17 police officers. The Commissioner stressed that no officer is sacred and warned that misconduct will not be tolerated, saying anyone found engaging in wrongdoing must face the consequences. He reaffirmed his commitment to maintaining discipline and integrity within the TTPS, while assuring the public that the service will continue its zero-tolerance approach to crime. Commissioner Guevara added that officers will remain proactive in enforcing the law and pursuing offenders, emphasizing that everyone will be held accountable regardless of their position or status. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin is highlighting the ongoing work taking place across her constituency. The minister provided an overview of the day-to-day operations of her constituency office, including meetings with residents, community outreach programs, and efforts to address issues affecting constituents. She said the office remains committed to engaging directly with residents and ensuring their concerns are heard as work continues to improve services and support communities throughout St. Augustine.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar always says education is the passport out of poverty. With her education initiatives, we are seeing more children receiving book grants. Form 1 students are so excited to get SEA results so that they will get their laptops. There's so much more excitement about what is happening in terms of supporting education. In schools, the schools within our constituency have expressed so much gratitude for the vacation repair program, and a lot of them have gotten repairs that were outstanding for many years, finally. Today, as Member of Parliament, I feel that it is my duty, along with our councillors, to facilitate parents who are applying for the school repair, the school grant, to supply for supplies for their children, that they come to the MP's office on Paje Main Road, that they walk with their documents, we go through their documents, we help them to scan and upload these documents. Some of them don't have an email address. We create an email address for them. We ensure that all their documents are in order, and if they are missing any documents, we help them get those documents. So today we were liaising with an officer of social welfare, Ministry of the People and Social Welfare, where persons who receive grants needed that verification letter. We were liaising with our councillors, where persons who were unemployed or self-employed needed a letter of recommendation from their councillor or MP. And with that kind of collaboration, we were able to see so many persons today to facilitate the application. While our office has been crowded all day with a constant stream of people, we also have persons who did not have their documents who will come back on tomorrow and Friday. So what started off as a one-day exercise has turned into a 3-day exercise.
We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, says the government remains committed to improving housing conditions following a visit to the Makano Quarry lands, also known as Canada, in Laventille. Accompanied by Housing Development Corporation officials, the minister assessed deteriorating conditions in the community as part of ongoing inspections to identify areas most in need of intervention. Alexander said the visit was carried out under the direction of Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar to help ensure more citizens have access to safe and dignified housing through first-hand assessments. The ministry says it will continue working with residents and provide updates as decisions are made on the future of the HDC community. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is intensifying its efforts to combat motor vehicle theft across the Northern Division. Senior Superintendent Sherma Maynard Wilson said police have identified crime hotspots, peak days for vehicle thefts, and the models most frequently targeted, including the Nissan Tiida, Toyota Fielder, Toyota Aqua, Kia K2700, Hyundai H100, and Honda Vezel.
So some of the key things that we have identified and have been implementing is, one, identifying the hotspots on the hot days as it relates to larceny motor vehicle. We have also been able to identify clearly those particular vehicles that form and are in fact the basis of these particular crime. So Northern North, Tiida, Toyota Fielder and Aqua, the K2700, as well as the H100 and Vezel continues to be those particular vehicles that are the target for larceny motor vehicles.
She said a dedicated team has been assigned to identify offenders and dismantle vehicle theft operations. Maynard Wilson also revealed that officers recently recovered a stolen vehicle and arrested a suspect after tracking a sale through social media. The TTPS says it remains committed to reducing motor vehicle larceny through targeted intelligence-led operations and increased enforcement.
Recently, and this is probably at the beginning of this year or late last year, one of our officers using social media was able to identify one of those vehicles that was stolen in the Northern North Division. Coming out of an operation, we were able to arrest one of those persons who were actually engaging in a sale transaction for that vehicle.
Customs and excise officers have seized a shipment of US $2 million in cash at Piaco International Airport as investigations continue into the attempted export of the funds to Miami. The money, which was intercepted during an intelligence-led operation on June 25th, has since been transferred to the central bank after customs raised concerns over deficiencies in the accompanying documentation. NCB Merchant Bank has confirmed the cash belongs to the institution, insisting the shipment was a routine business transaction that complied with banking regulations, anti-money laundering laws, and industry protocols. The bank says it has provided all additional documents requested by customs and is cooperating fully with investigators. Authorities say the cash remains in the custody of the central bank while investigations continue, with reports indicating that U.S. law enforcement agencies have also been asked to assist in the probe. Government is forecasting a significant increase in oil production as Heritage Petroleum ramps up drilling and exploration activities across Trinidad and Tobago. Here's more. Speaking at the Society of Petroleum Engineers Mature Basins Energy Symposium, Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal said oil production is projected to rise from about 57,300 barrels per day in fiscal 2026 to 62,100 barrels per day in 2027, with output expected to reach 74,600 barrels per day by fiscal 2029. The minister said Heritage Petroleum will drill 5 development wells and 1 exploration well this year, while private operators are expected to drill an additional 20 development wells. He added that production from new wells in the East Soldado field is expected to begin by August, boosting output by about 1,300 barrels of oil per day. Dr. Munilal also said government plans to increase natural gas production in the months ahead as part of its broader strategy to strengthen the country's energy sector.
After years of decline, the outlook for the period 2027 to 2029 shows meaningful recovery. On a fiscal year basis, forecasted production is projected to increase from 57,300 barrels per day in fiscal 2026 to approximately 62,100 barrels per day in fiscal year 2027. This we project to climb to 74,600 barrels per day in fiscal 2029. The remainder of 2026, ladies and gentlemen, Heritage land operation will include the drilling of 5 development wells and 1 exploration well. Its lease operators, farm-outs, and enhanced production sharing contractors are projected to drill 20 development wells. Heritage will also offer idle wells to operators for reactivation and workovers to expand its lease-out operations. In addition, bids have been invited from operators for 3 blocks, PS3, Moruga North, and Tabakit. With respect to Heritage offshore operations, the East Soldado program has regained momentum, with production from wells drilled earlier this year expected to come on stream by August 2026. This is expected to add 1,300 barrels of oil per day to existing production.
You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. A St. Augustine family has suffered another devastating loss following the fatal shooting of Amar Bissoon on Thursday. Police say Bissoon was killed during a shooting along Samrose Avenue, Dookie Singh Street. Officers responded after reports of multiple gunshots, but he succumbed to his injuries at the scene. Crime scene investigators recovered evidence and the Homicide Bureau has launched an investigation. No arrests have been made. Amar's death is the latest in a series of violent tragedies violent tragedies involving the Bissoon family. His father was murdered in 2018, his uncle was killed in a double homicide in 2023, and his 16-year-old brother died during a police operation in 2024. Investigators are continuing inquiries to determine the motive and identify those responsible for the latest killing. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Tonight, more than half the country feeling like a furnace as the scorching heat dome spreads over the East Coast ahead of what will likely be the hottest 4th of July holiday in more than 15 years. D.C. feeling like 110, Philly 107, and Syracuse feeling like 111 degrees. New York City's heat index 102 degrees today, and tomorrow will be even hotter.
The city has opened hundreds of cooling centers across the 5 boroughs. We have also launched a fleet of more than a dozen cool vans.
Just north of New York City,
we have about 15 here, 5 that are in and out of conscious.
A group of nearly 20 ROTC cadets on their way home from camp rushed to hospitals after their bus lost AC in Goshen, New York. Many taking refuge at the beach. Lifeguards on Long Island keeping a close eye amid rip current warnings. And that's not all. This hammerhead shark spotted swimming off the Long Island shore this week, not far from swimmers.
Tonight, President Trump taking off for the first time in his brand new Air Force One, an unprecedented $400 million gift from the government of Qatar, retrofitted by the Pentagon with hundreds of millions of American tax dollars.
So this will be the first flight of what I think is maybe the greatest commercial plane ever built.
White House staffers posting pictures inside, spacious rooms, gleaming fixtures. And when President Trump leaves the White House, it all goes with him. A highly unusual arrangement that transfers ownership of the plane to his presidential library. It comes as the president's mandatory financial disclosure forms show that in his first year back in office, President Trump pulled in a stunning $2.2 billion in income, 3 times more than what he made the year before. Our Mary Bruce asking the president,
what message does this send to average Americans, especially those who may be struggling right now financially?
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
Unlike past presidents, President Trump has not put his business into a blind trust. It's being run by his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, who accompanied him on today's flight. $1.4 billion of the money he made last year came from his family's crypto business, which boomed as his administration loosened regulations on the industry.
We're going to be the undisputed crypto capital and Bitcoin superpower of the world. Bitcoin's very powerful.
The Trump family's crypto company, World Liberty Financial, getting a major investment from a firm closely tied to the United Arab Emirates. Democrats on the attack.
Obviously, Trump has been engaging in an all-you-can-eat corruption buffet.
President Trump with his reason for why he's profiting.
To critics who say you're profiting off the presidency, Mr.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting.
Haunting new images tonight of the moment back-to-back earthquakes rocked Venezuela, sending people scrambling and buildings collapsing to the ground. Exactly 1 week ago, the death toll today jumped to nearly 2,300. But under the staggering devastation, there are signs of life. This man desperately waving a hand from beneath the rubble. International rescue teams are now racing to free him, and he's not alone. At another site, you can faintly hear the voice of a man trapped behind this tiny hole. Rescuers are keeping him alive by pouring Gatorade through a flexible straw. There's almost no government help here. So many families are digging with their own hands to find loved ones. Fernando is looking for his 19-year-old niece, saying, we have to keep fighting because we have to find her. 12-year-old Carlos was rescued after 5 days. His family in Miami calls it a miracle.
Here we are, day 7, and they're still finding people, and you know, hope is still there, and hope is still alive.
When we return, your weather update on more. Stay tuned.
Introducing Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Let's do India and Nepal, a soulful journey across timeless destinations. Delhi, Kathmandu, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Agra, and Jaipur. August 12th to 28th. Presented by Pandit Omarat. Call 681-3476 to book now. Not just a trip, it's a spiritual and cultural experience.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today was generally warm, sunny and breezy across Trinidad and Tobago with a mixture of sunshine and partly cloudy skies dominating much of the day. A few brief isolated showers developed during the afternoon, mainly over central and southern districts, but most areas remained dry. Temperatures climbed to approximately 32 to 33 degrees Celsius, while overnight lows are expected to settle between 24 and 25 degrees Celsius, moderate to fresh. Easterly winds provided some relief from the daytime heat, becoming gusty at times, particularly in exposed coastal locations. Sea conditions remain moderate, with offshore wave heights ranging between 2.0 and 2.5 meters, while sheltered coastal waters experienced waves of 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Overall conditions were warm, humid, and breezy, with limited shower activity. Tonight is expected to be generally fair to partly cloudy, with the slight chance of a few isolated showers developing during the late evening and overnight hours. Warm and humid conditions will persist, while moderate easterly winds of 15 to 20 knots continue across the islands. Marine conditions will remain moderate, with offshore seas between 2.0 and 2.5 meters and sheltered waters ranging from 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers should continue to exercise caution, particularly in offshore areas where seas may become occasionally choppy. Saturday is expected to begin with a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness across Trinidad and Tobago. As the day progresses, daytime heating is likely to trigger a few scattered showers, with a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm developing in some areas during the afternoon. Despite the passing showers, long sunny intervals are expected, keeping conditions hot and humid. Temperatures are forecast to reach approximately 32 to 33 degrees Celsius, with moderate easterly winds remaining fresh at times. Sea conditions are expected to remain moderate, with offshore wave heights between 2.0 and 2.5 meters and sheltered coastal waters between 1.0 and 1.5 meters. Overall, Saturday is expected to be warm, breezy, and partly sunny, with a few afternoon showers interrupting otherwise fair conditions. Let's take a look at some crime news. A 20-year-old man has been charged with the murder of 23-year-old Rian Raghubar, whose body was found along Kokal Estate, Manzanilla Road, Manzanilla, on Monday, May 18, 2026, following investigations by officers of the Homicide Bureau of Investigations, Region 2. Advice to charge the suspect with the offense of murder was received from Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Roger Gaspard, on Thursday, June 25th, through ASP Victor and PC Subaya Legal. Picton was subsequently charged by PC Rambajan on Friday, June 26. The accused appeared before Master Ali on Monday, June 29th, where the matter was adjourned to Thursday, November 19th, 2026 for a sufficiency hearing. The investigation was supervised by AGASP Victor. 3 suspects have been arrested in connection with a robbery with violence and indecent assault that occurred along Lopino Road, Aruca, on Monday, 29th June. At approximately 7:35 p.m., 3 victims, an 18-year-old and 2 17-year-olds, were walking south along Lopino Road when they were confronted by 3 male suspects who announced a robbery. The victims were forced to kneel and were physically assaulted before being robbed of 3 cellular phones, wallets containing personal documents, and a total of TT 260 in cash. During the incident, one of the suspects also indecently assaulted the 17-year-old female victim before the trio fled north along Lupino Road. Following investigations by officers of the Arouca Criminal Investigations Department, 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident. They are an 18-year-old man and 2 17-year-olds, all of Lupino Road, Arouca. In a separate incident, 3 individuals were arrested, 28 vehicles were searched, and 13 electronic fixed penalty notices were issued during a joint roving exercise conducted by officers of the Central Police Station and the Capital City Patrol Unit in the Port of Spain Division. On Thursday, 30th June 2026, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. in accordance with the emergency powers regulations, officers focused their operations on Independence Square north and south from Lodge Place to Ryston Road, South Key, Belmont Circular Road, Rookery, Nook, Maraval, Tragrit Road, Arupita Avenue, and French Street, Woodbrook. Among those arrested were a 32-year-old man for driving under the influence after allegedly providing a breath alcohol reading of 64 micrograms per millimeters of breath, a second man for driving without ever having been issued a driver's permit, and for operating a motor vehicle without a valid certificate of inspection. A Venezuelan national was also arrested. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has intensified coordinated anti-crime operations under the state of emergency regulations with recent exercises across both the eastern and northern divisions, resulting in multiple arrests and the seizure of significant quantities of cannabis. On Monday, 29th June, officers conducted a roving road check exercise between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. in the Sandy Grande and Valencia districts. The operation was coordinated by Senior Superintendent Etienne and Inspector Harper and supervised by Sergeant Rampasad with support from members of the Eastern Division Task Force. During the exercise, officers arrested a 41-year-old Sandy Grande man after allegedly finding approximately 507 grams of cannabis in his possession. He was subsequently charged for possession of cannabis. In a follow-up search conducted under SOE regulations, officers reportedly discovered an additional 95 grams of cannabis at a premises linked to the suspect, resulting in a further possession charge. In a separate operation conducted on Tuesday, 30th June, between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. in the Maloney district of the Northern Division, officers carried out an anti-crime exercise coordinated by ASP Wilkinson, spearheaded by Inspector Smith, and targeted researchers. Officers executed a search at an apartment in Building 12 under SOE authority, where they discovered approximately 375 grams of marijuana along with TT 7,418 cash, suspected to be proceeds of drug trafficking. A male suspect was arrested on suspicion of trafficking in marijuana. Recapping the headlines, detention orders allege plot to assassinate government officials as business executives challenge claims in court. Police Commissioner says no officer is above the law following dismissal of 17 TTPS officers. Minister Khadija Amin highlights ongoing community outreach and constituency development in St. Augustine. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.